Alright, so bear with me here. The point of this video is really to get you thinking about looking at the muscles of our body a tad bit differently. So I'm going to do that by telling you two things about the hamstrings that you likely didn't know. Welcome to my channel. My name is Manny. I am a physical therapist in real life, and online I'm just a YouTuber who likes to talk about the human body, so take that for what it's worth. We all know that the hamstring actually helps us bend the knee. Whenever we need to flex the knee, we just pick it up the foot, and then our hamstrings engages and helps us with that action. Now, we are all aware of that, but did you know that the hamstrings are actually part of a complex system to also help us control the arches of our foot, particularly when we're walking or running or jumping, most motions that we do upright. Let me explain. So when we first take a step, right, one of the first things that happen is that the arches of our foot will collapse. It will start to, you imagine the arch of your foot, it will start to collapse in. When that action is taking place, what tends to happen is that the shin bone will start to rotate in. So it's rotating like so. When that happens, it actually pulls on the hamstring a bit and tensions the hamstrings a little bit more. The reason why that action is important is because if you think of the hamstring here as a rubber band that attaches from here to here, it actually helps slow down how fast the shin bone rotates in, and then subsequently it will help slow down how fast the arch of our foot collapses. So without the hamstring, when we take a step, our arch will just collapse, like it would just go splat really, and we might not recall from that. But with the hamstring, the collapse will be slow and controlled to make sure that we are actually absorbing load. So that's pretty neat in terms of our hamstring helping us control the arch of our foot. So the second thing that the hamstring does is that it is part of a complex system to actually help us control trunk rotation. Okay, so this one is going to be a little bit tricky to explain, but I'm gonna go for it. So back to the example of walking. So when we swing our leg foot forward and then we land, our pelvis bone also flexes a bit to tension the hamstrings a little bit more. When that tensioning effect is happening, the opposite shoulder, so in my case, the right shoulder will start to rotate to the left as I swing with my left foot swung forward. So with this action here, the hamstring is turned on a little bit more here to help us control how far and how fast we rotate our trunk to the left foot. So let me reverse engineer that if you are not following. If the hamstring is, let's say the hamstring is strained, right? If any of you have ever experienced a severe strain, hamstring strain, start to change the way you walk. And that is because you are not able to swing the leg as far forward anymore because the hamstring starts to talk to you because you're in a sense, you're interpreting as your body the hamstring being strained a bit further. Your pelvis will flex a bit more as well. Again, that will tension the hamstring, and the hamstrings will start to talk to you, be like, hey, what are you doing here? I'm hurt. And that would not allow you to rotate your trunk as much, because if you rotated your trunk as much as you usually do when your hamstring is strained, your hamstring will talk to you a lot more because you're loading the hamstring. So with hopefully reverse engineering that made you realize how involved the hamstring is with trunk rotation. Without the hamstring, getting optimal trunk rotation is not likely, which means that you exploding off of to propel yourself forward is not as optimal. So hopefully it made you appreciate how much more the hamstring does outside of what we know. If you caught on, I was saying that the hamstring is part of a complex system, and I was using that phrase very intentional here because I think most of the time we look at muscles in an isolated manner when that shouldn't be the case. Our body muscles rarely functions in isolation. There are exceptions here and there, but they rarely function in isolation. So, when you start to look at them as a summation of muscle action and joint movements, you start to look at your body a bit differently. So hopefully that was the point of this video, and hopefully I was able to get my point across with this video. If you have a friend that asks you what this muscle does, just simply ask them what action, and if they say, oh, what does this muscle do if you're going to, I don't know, pick up something off the floor. You know, you can just look at it and be like, you know, that muscle is a part of a complex system to help you pick that item up, and you will not be wrong. You know, but you have to explain it. But that's what I'm here for. Hopefully that made sense. Again, this video is really, I just made it to try to change your perspective if you're curious about how to look at your muscles, because then, you know, it starts to open up your view and world a little bit, and makes you respect how complex the human body is. All right, I'm going on and on, so I'll stop here. Thank you for watching the video. Again, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm trying to create an awesome community here, so if you have any suggestions or if you liked what I had to share today, feel free to either comment down below or just hit the like button, because it will help me go a long way. So, all right, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.